Our next speaker is Hena Zuberi from Justice for All.
Thank you so much, Zainab. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Justice for All welcomes the verdict in the George Floyd murder case. Justice for George Floyd is a hard-won reality powered by the efforts of organizers and protesters who brought the world's attention to this case. It is a win for human rights in the United States, but there are thousands more waiting justice, thousands such as the Maryland families of Tyrone Jones, Archie Elliott, Antoine Black, and many others. From the streets of Minneapolis to the corners of Shaheen Bagh, India, unlawful use of force by police can end in death, injury, and devastation. Police brutality is a human rights issue. As we've seen too many times in the United States and around the world, sometimes police kill or seriously injure people during these arrests fueled by racism. Strict international laws and standards govern how and when police can use force, particularly lethal force. The United Nations basic principles on the use of force and firearms by law enforcement officials is the key international instrument that deals with police use of force. These must be adhered to in the United States. The most important thing to remember in this, it is the utmost obligation of state authorities, including police, to respect and protect the right to life. Under international law, police officers should only ever use lethal force as a last resort. This means such force is strictly necessary to protect themselves or others from imminent threat of death or serious injury, and only when other options for de-escalation are insufficient. This is clearly not the case in this case. Many killings by police that we've seen around the world clearly do not meet this criteria, and political leaders in places like Brazil and the Philippines openly celebrate harsh police tactics, even murder. In the United States, many Black residents are unarmed when they were killed by police. George Floyd, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner. The world knows of this troubling pattern, and this makes it harder for us to work towards human rights in other countries. When they ask us, what about your own backyard? They ask, seeking to weaken human rights arguments we make about persecution of Uyghur Muslims in China, for example. China just released a human rights abuses report on the United States, and that should put us to shame. I will end it there. We agree with President Biden's statement that the work has just begun. Police reform must include cultural changes within each department so officers truly recognize that all human beings share the same level of humanity. Until this system can be destroyed and abolished, verdicts are measures of individual accountability. They don't bring back the dead. They don't protect the living. There needs to be policy changes at city, state, and federal level. And yes, there needs to be better training, better communications with communities, and funding for social services and opportunities for communities of color. But above all, we need real accountability built into any system. Justice for all instead of mass incarceration for all.
Thank you so much, Sister Hena.